A reversal at the end of last week with cattle sinking while soybeans were the standout. Ag Day's Michelle Rook has more on this week's trade in markets now.
Well, grain and livestock futures closing mostly lower on Friday, except for soybeans. Darren Fry with Water Street Solutions is in with analysis, and pretty quiet day in the grains on Friday. We had kind of a mixed session and a lot of that report positioning, but do you think we're going to get any big surprises out of the report today?
I think that people have pretty much dialed in just a small decrease for soybeans, 0.3 of a bushel and a couple bushel in corn. Obviously, you could get some acreage surprises on wheat, but other than that, I think the interesting part will be what stocks are in all positions for that first quarter usage. We know those stocks are going to be up in corn, how much they're going to be up. What are we using for feed, I guess, is the big question, because, feed and residual, I think, has been somewhat overstated. So, the surprises later this morning could be, hey, they cut yield, not 2 bushel, but they cut it 4, similar to last year. Or the fact that we have used a little bit more corn than what we expected because exports, because of grind, because of feeding cattle heavier. But outside of that, I don't know how you get a bullish report for corn, given that we should have more stocks on hand. Soybeans, that could lead us higher because, if that yield is a little bit less than 0.3 of a bushel, we got a pretty tight carry out there. And I know Brazil's got a big crop, but our balance sheet could be a little on the tight side here.
But we are going to need a catalyst to rally the grain market, get corn out of this sideways range that we're in. And if we don't get it in the report, where would it come from?
I think the next chance would be Safrinha runs into trouble, after a big Brazilian soybean harvest. Maybe it gets dry, maybe the monsoon kind of tapers out a little bit early, and then, maybe Safrinha is where you cut yield. With Brazil ramping up their industrial use, they're going to use a lot more domestically. They'll have less in the export channels, and that'll give us a chance to export more.
So cattle did set back on Friday despite some better cash trade. Was that a healthy profit-taking setback or not?
The market has made a pretty big run, and it seems like a little profit-taking, but really you look at the charts, they're kind of flagging out, a bull flag, and I didn't see a whole lot. They were down on Wednesday, up on Thursday, down on Friday for profit-taking. I think we just got to see if we can bust out of here and go to the next leg higher.
Thanks so much, Darren Fry, Water Street Solutions. That's Markets Now.